Welcome to Tima podcast and welcome to a special night news update because I have been doing some research and there is a chance that perhaps Erik Ten Hag will be sacked Monday. Now, as of time recording, it is 1:34 a.m. Monday 28th of October. Obviously, yesterday Manchester United lost 2-1 to West Ham, and that means it's a fourth defeat for Man United. They sit 14th place in the Premier League on match day 9 with a -3 goal difference. It was a very embarrassing defeat for Erik Ten Hag amid a controversial VAR decision that gave West Ham a penalty. But nonetheless, I feel the need to record this episode now, even though it is the night. I do want to record this episode in case Erik Ten Hag is sacked. I want to cover this in case he is sacked, to have this video out there so people know that I made my analysis before he was sacked. And of course, he might not necessarily get sacked. As I understand, the thinking was he will be kept until at least the international break. But who knows? Maybe Monday, boom, Erik Ten Hag sacked. Because right now it's looking more and more likely that he will get sacked. The games are going on and results are not improving. You might remember from my previous episodes where I made an extensive analysis of Manchester United at the start of the season, looking at how they started the season, the first few games. And I talked about the reasons why they kept him in the summer, providing some solid pro Ten Hag arguments, but also reasons why he perhaps should have been sacked. And obviously we know there were mitigating circumstances like injuries, off-field problems, then just being unlucky, then individual players underperforming, the lack of a proper structure. But in the end, in the summer, Ineos come in, all these new people, Blanc, Berardi, Sir David Brailsford, all these people come in. You've got the structure in place. You've got technical there. You've got a structure in place that's meant to work. Ten Hag has been giving them backing. They spent 200 million on players. They signed two centre backs, the players he wanted. They signed other players like Mazraoui, like Xerxes, like Ugarte. They clearly made the signings, and now it's a case of, all right, Ten Hag, now prove your worth. Now it's year 3. You've won 2 trophies in 2 years. Well done, and now prove it. And what has Ten Hag done? He's had an even worse season, and it's now reaching a point of absurdity where Manchester United they're literally as close to relegation as they are to top 4. They are closer to being relegated than they are to winning the league. They've got exactly half the points of Liverpool, less than half the points of Man City. They've got one of the worst ever start to a Premier League season for Manchester United. They've got, seriously, how much worse can it get? 14th place 9 games in, and you haven't even played such difficult games. Really, if you look at Manchester United's fixture list, it hasn't been that terrible. They haven't played Man City, they haven't played Arsenal. Yes, they played Liverpool and we battered them at Old Trafford. But other than that, losing to West Ham, losing to Tottenham, losing to Liverpool, losing to Brighton, having a draw against Crystal Palace, and then 3 draws in the Europa League is not acceptable. They're like 21st place in the Europa League. They're 14th place in the league. They beat Barnsley 7-0, but that's Barnsley. Their only decent performances were literally Barnsley and Southampton, and perhaps Brentford. And we're talking about already a sample size of 13 games. We're not 3 games in, we're 13 games in. So I think that I want to record this video to put out this analysis in case Erik Ten Hag will be sacked on Monday. And the question is, do I think he should be sacked on Monday? I think the answer is no. I think you shouldn't make this decision on Monday. I think wait a little bit, think about it. There is definitely now more and more sense of sacking him, because now is a case of you've got to salvage the situation, right? You've got to bring in Ruud van Nistelrooy as an interim and hope for a bounce, because these players have clearly given up on him. I look at those highlights of that game. I didn't watch the game itself. I was going to watch Liverpool play Arsenal. Separate, obviously, the Premier League review will be coming out today, Monday, later on in the day. But it's just ridiculous what Manchester United did. Missing all those chances. Dello missing a gigantic chance. Garnacho missing chances. It's just ridiculous. They had so many chances and they managed to completely waste them. 5 shots on target, 7 shots off target, 6 blocked shots. It's ridiculous. They managed to have 57% possession. It's absolutely ridiculous. I literally can't explain how wasteful they were. I was watching the highlights and I was honestly not believing what I saw, because you can't be this terrible. It's almost like they're trying not to score on purpose. So these players clearly are, they're giving up on Ten Hag. There's a complete breakdown. I think there's a point where you've got to change the manager, even if that is not the long-term solution, right? Realistically, bringing in this new gaffer will not long-term solve Manchester United's problems. Manchester United's problems long-term have been the systemic mishandling of the club, the terrible financial decisions, the recruitment strategy being terrible, the managerial appointments being wrong. I think with Ten Hag, it's probably a little bit more of a case of he just lost sync. He just went out of sync. I think that what probably damaged his reputation was the fact that he was about to be sacked. They tried to get someone else. They didn't. He stayed on. There was some kind of breakdown with, I guess, with the players in some sense. The new signings have completely backfired. So clearly those recruitment strategy did not work out brilliantly, because your signings are not working. Your signing, Ugarte, has not worked out, and he's barely even played. Your signing, Joshua Zirkzee, has not worked out, because where are the goals? Like literally, the guy's not even scoring any goals. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This was meant to be a player to improve on the situation, to make things better, and he has scored how many goals? One league goal. One league goal in 9 games. One goal, one assist. Are you joking? Is that it? One goal. One goal. For a new striker who you spent £44 million on. Fine, he's not a striker. Call him a false 9, a 10, a 9.5 as he said himself. But he should be scoring goals. Ugarte has barely even played, because he's played a game, did terribly, then played 0 minutes in 2 games. Johnny Evans comes in starting, now he doesn't start. This makes no sense whatsoever at all. Matthias de Ligt, this new centre-back who is meant to elevate your squad, the world-class de Ligt, and he's done presumably not much. Mazraoui has probably been a bit better as a signing, but even so, he's not been sensational either. Your defense has been conceding goals, your manager's going out and talking about two trophies in 2 years, and then the keeping... It's ridiculous. This guy once again drew a game, the 14th place in the league, and he started talking about having like the second most clean sheets and having 4 clean sheets. Are you nuts? You're 14th place in the league. Who cares about your clean sheets? You can concede 0 goals and score 0 goals and be in relegation territory at the end of the season. It's nonsense. This manager is deluded clearly. What on earth is he saying? He doesn't even have any sense of accountability. He lost his game and then proceeds to talk about VAR and how it cost them points. And perhaps it did. It cost you a point. Alright, man? It cost you a point. Add 1 point to Manchester United's current tally, they go to 13th. Is that a big difference? 14th? 13th? 12th? It's not going to be 7th, is it? Manchester United are below Fulham, Bournemouth, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, West Ham. It's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsensical. And I do think that the people who are trying to just jump on Ten Hag and say, sack him and it's going to be all good. That's not the answer, right? Sacking Ten Hag will not solve the long-term problem. The problems at this club are far deeper than Erik Ten Hag. It's just coming back to the fact that you've brought on these managers, and each time these managers fail. Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, David Moyes, Erik Ten Hag. There's something wrong in this club. You need to eliminate player power. You need to bring in the right players with the right mentality. You need to do a clear out. Jose Mourinho says there are 3 players in that dressing room who he wanted to sell. You need to update that team. You need to bring the right players in. You need to do what Arsenal did, what Arteta did. That's clear out the squad, bring in new players, rebuild the club and the team, and create something new. And then you will have a chance. That has not been done yet. And clearly the signings have failed. The short-term circumstance as well. Clearly Erik Ten Hag just can't work things out. And I think it's a point at which Ineos are going to have to sack him, because they can't just keep him and say, trust, wait. It's different to Arsenal, because with Arsenal, I think the expectation is lower. Arsenal are nowhere near the stature of Manchester United. Manchester United being a league-winning team, obviously quite a long time ago, but it's different when Arsenal were patient with Arteta, because there's a more of a case of you had this Arsene Wenger for a long, long time. You get sacked in 2017. You get Unai Emery, who ultimately did not perform as they wanted. Arsenal doing terribly. The squad is terrible. So they have to stay with Arteta, hoping for a light at the end of the tunnel because he's building something. Whereas here it's a different case. You had a team that did win trophies in recent years. You had a team that did finish in third place, that did finish second place before, and now this team has crumbled away completely to a point where it's their 14th and they're falling down and down and down and down. And it's just a matter of bringing in an interim to sort of stabilize the ship and then restart again, hoping that you can do something better. Again, I don't think that sacking Ten Hag is the long-term answer. It's just a temporary stopgap solution to stop the ship sinking. The ship, there's something wrong with the ship, right? There's something wrong. The ship isn't going anywhere. The engine's broken. But right now, you need to stop the ship from sinking. And I think if they were to keep him and he were to continue what he's doing right now, the season might become unsalvageable. Because to catch up with the teams above, right, there are currently 7 points off top 4. So to close those 7 points down, you've got to be 7 points better than those teams ahead of you. So not only must Manchester United reach the level of top 4 and play like a top 4 team, they've got to outpace them and catch up. Right now, Nottingham Forest in 7th are 5 points clear. So Man United aren't even close to Conference League spots, right? It is very bad, unfortunately unfortunate depends for who. Unfortunately for Manchester United fans, it is a problem. And I think that my prediction is he's not sacked on Monday. I don't think he'll be sacked today. I think they will wait a little bit more. But I do think it might happen even before this international break. So we shall see. Thank you for listening to this. I wish you all the best. Obviously, the Monday review episodes should come out today in the evening. I have been having some technical issues with YouTube, just videos not uploading on time, which is really frustrating me because I want to time the releases of the episodes so release at a good time rather than a random time, which is what's been happening because of YouTube malfunctioning. Podbean is doing it all fantastic, but for some reason it's not uploading to YouTube properly. So please like and subscribe, leave a comment below, talk about Ten Hag. If he does become sacked, then obviously I'll make another video, but do comment here. What do you think of Ten Hag? Should he stay? Should he go? And what will happen? I wish you all the best and good night.